You don't need to drive this Porsche to know how it ends. It's precise, clinical, spectacular, yes, but also a bit inevitable, a bit obvious. This though, the Alpine A110R, it's a bit different. Yes, it has the same visual spectacle as the Porsche. I mean, just look at those carbon fibre wheels. But it's not just for show like Fatty over there. It's 300 kilos lighter, has barely half the power, but it still captures attention in a very different way. This isn't a numbers game. This is a story of poise, balance, finesse, and what happens when a car company goes all in on lightness. No, it's not really a Porsche rival. It's something a whole lot more interesting. This is the Alpine A110R. You know a car's light from the way it reacts to your inputs. And at just over a ton, the A110R really does feel light. 1,082 kilograms. That's unheard of these days. And as a result, there's no delay. It never feels like there's any systems at work holding you back or deciding what to do. You turn, it turns. You apply some throttle, it sucks in some air and it goes. It's all so direct.
And what I love about the A110R is that it doesn't try too hard. There's no torque vectoring or fake sound or pretend downforce. It's just honest.
Is it perfect? Not quite. You sit a touch too high. This infotainment screen is from a very different era, although it has CarPlay. And then there's the cruise control. The steering wheel is exclusively covered in controls for it, but to activate it, you've got to use this little switch under my left elbow. So when you are cruising, you'll accidentally turn it off. And then there's the rear view mirror, or thereby lack of. The rear windscreen, well, there isn't one. It's been replaced with a panel of carbon fibre to save weight. But it really makes it quite uncomfortable. It takes some time to getting used to only looking out of your side mirrors. But that all pales into insignificance when you're really driving the car. It really feels like less is more. Oh, and one more thing. For a petty car, it's got a grand price. £96,000. The driving experience is dominated by the chassis and the way that everything feels so up on its toes. It's not quite as soft as the S or the GT that I previously drove, but it maintains that typical A110 feeling of the way the car's damped and it just breathes with the road. And then there's the size of Le Petit Pois. You can pick your line within the confines of the road markings. It's remarkable and it reminds you of things like old Exiges. You just don't get that anymore. Alpine diehards might loathe me for it, but this engine might be a bit flat. Yeah, the DCT, it's really quite snappy and great, but there's not really any incentive to bring it out. It's not particularly melodious. It's fascinating that the GT4 RS, a car that's not necessarily competitive, but one that shares so much in philosophy, is renowned for its engine, and this, well, it just isn't. Everything needs to be Nürburgring certified. Sometimes a sports car should make buying a baguette feel like you've been to Le Mans. It feels a bit ridiculous going to buy une panne in a car like this, but it's also sort of perfect. Unlike the brute release for this car, which is in the passenger footwell.
The A110R is Alpine's swan song for the current generation A110, a car already built on the founding pillars of low weight, agility and feel. And the R? It doubles down. Carbon fibre wheels, you can't miss them. Carbon seats, carbon bonnet, carbon rear view window, less mass, more focus. Alpine didn't chase power. The 1.8 litre turbo 4 still makes just 300 horsepower, but now it has less weight to push than ever. The result is a car that's alive at any speed, not because it's fast, but because it's vivid. Every surface tells you something, every reaction feels dialed in. It's like the difference between a voice note and a face-to-face conversation. The A110R isn't chasing lap times or horsepower, it's chasing feel. No torque vectoring, no complex modes to scroll through, just a focus on weight, balance and simplicity. Yes, it's quirky, yes, it's imperfect, but that's the point. It's light, sharp and unfiltered, built for people who want connection, not configuration. And when you stop expecting Porsche polish, you'll find something rarer: character.
Because the A110R isn't about lap times, it's about lightness, balance, and feeling every nuance of the road. It's really about making the mundane feel quite special. Making the mundane feel magical is why we've got to miss cars like this when they're gone. This is the final form of Alpine's purest model. Yes, there'll be run-out specials, but they're just trim. There'll be no hybridization, no nagging nannying systems, just carbon, balance and purity. The GT4 RS production's just about to finish. You can't order one anymore. The entire 718 range has faced its curtain call. Alpine's future strategy is 100% electric, and that doesn't just make this a magical sports car, it makes it something of a parting gift. A reminder that purity can be so exciting.
It isn't the fastest near 100k car, or the most powerful, or the most appealing to most, but it might be the most memorable, because it proves that in a world obsessed with more, sometimes less is exactly what you want. And that feeling, that's what makes it special. That was the Alpine A110R. Thanks for watching. I'm Zaid, and I'm still new to all of this, so please consider subscribing, and do check out my lightweight Ferrari or 911 Turbo videos. This is filmed and edited by Ifti, and we hope to be back very soon. Thanks.